Hey guys, welcome back. So this month, me and Jordan are not reading a series because we have so many books kind of coming out at like weird times. So this is like our first full week of our random books and
Yeah.
books that are on our TBR. So
New
we're gonna go
books
through
coming
a lot of
out,
books.
books we want to read,
Yeah.
reread, whatever, right?
So this month is month of just TBR. And
Yeah.
then we have series coming up, don't worry. So Jordan's gonna go over her book she read, I'm gonna go over mine, we're gonna go over some book news and then go from there. So all right, Jordan.
So, so last week we obviously filmed the interview, like about the interview with Sarah J.
Yeah.
Maas. In the 2 week period that we had from the previous video to that video to now, I have read 6 books. I have been on a romance kick recently because we just got through big, fantasy series and they're just light and fluffy, whatever, right? So, first I read, it's called The Stopover by T.L. Swan. It's the first book in the Miles High Club series. Um, and the first book is exactly what you would think. So, they meet in first class on a plane. It's a one night
Wait, Mile
stand.
High because they're literally fucking on a plane in the
Well,
air. Is that why it's called that? Everyone's
yes,
just
it
getting freaky on a
happens.
plane.
Yes, it happens. It's That's not why it's called that, but yes, it happens. It's called the Miles High Club because the main male characters, it follows 4 brothers. The main male characters, their last name is Miles.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they
But
all
they
get freaky
do
on
they
a plane.
do meet in first class. It's kind of like a one night stand type of thing. She's on her way to New York coming from a crappy wedding. He's on his way home, yada yada, whatever, right?
Yeah.
12 months later, she ends up working for his company.
Oh,
And they just battle it out and try and, figure that out. And then she gets framed and he gets framed, and their relationship blows up until they can solve all of that. So
yeah.
great. I have a hard time rating books, but I told Heavenly I would be better about it, so I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
Next, I read Royal Wings, which is the novella for the Dark Sky series.
Yeah.
It is the prequel to their characters. And
Yes.
speaking of that, Wings of Darkness just came out
Just
this week. Make sure you
yeah.
go get your copy, read it on Kindle Unlimited. Miss Ella, we love you.
Absolutely, we love you.
Um, the novella is everything that you would expect. It gives more insight into the shield bonds. I love the main male character in that. So that was a 5 out of 5. I loved it.
And from that novella, we had like an hour long conversation of like theories and why this novella was
Mm-hmm.
necessarily out and like uh
Mm-hmm.
conversations like that. So yeah, I'm waiting for that arc link.
Yeah. Yeah. Miss Stella will be first in line, babe. Next, I read In Her Own League by Liz Tomford, which is the spin-off of the Windy City series. Liz
Hmm.
Tomford does a really good job
I feel
at,
like you always talk about that series.
yeah, so it was the first series that I read last last year. Last
Okay.
year. And I loved it. Liz Tomford does a really good job about like empowering women in male dominated fields. And this
Okay.
book really showed like how much women can suffer in male dominated fields. So it highlights that a lot, and she does a really great job with that. It follows, instead of the team members and friend group from like the sports teams, it follows the coach and I don't know necessarily, I don't remember what his job is called, but he's like the head coach for them, and she's like the team
Okay.
owner. She owns the team.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Okay.
So there's board members that are trying to coerce her and blackmail her into like stepping down because they feel like they would do
Mhm.
a much better job just because she's a woman.
Got it.
So
Okay.
she knocks them down. Perfect, beautiful, loved it.
Yeah.
5 out of 5 stars. I
Okay.
love that man. Monty.
Mm, okay.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know how I feel about the name Monty though, but
Well, his actual name is Emmett, but
I like Emmett better than Monty.
his last name is Montgomery. So all the players, they call him Monty,
Mm,
right? Coach
okay.
Monty.
Okay.
But he does go by Emmett from her for the majority of the book. So
Okay. That's valid.
next I read The Takeover, which is the second book in the Miles High Club series, and it follows
Because they take over
this.
the plane while they're getting freaky on the plane, right?
No.
Ah, dang it.
No. So it follows the second brother, which is Tristan. He does acquisitions for the media company, so he's trying to take over the main female character's media company that was her dead husband's. I don't know, I'm
Oh.
laughing. But
Oh, that's crazy.
yeah. But honestly, TL Swan did a really good job like showcasing grief and what it's like to lose a loved one, especially when you have kids, and how
Yeah.
kids can act out when they're feeling different sorts of ways.
Yeah.
So they end up, battling it out. The kids are crazy. It was really funny. It made me laugh out loud. I loved it. This very much like rich boy settling into suburban life type of
Okay.
thing. Um, and then they end up merging the two companies. So
Okay.
the brother steps back to run the second, like his wife's company, basically, to
Yeah.
help, keep it alive, I guess.
Got it. Okay.
That was about a 5. I loved that one. I
Okay.
think that was my favorite one out of the series, honestly. Then I read The Casanova, which is the third book, and it's workplace romance, friends with benefits type start out thing. See, it has a secret pen pal trope to it.
Okay. I love
Has
that.
has a cute little like farm aspect to it. Like they're like the
Okay.
main male character bought a house on some land and it came with farm animals, and the ducks like chased him around and like attacked him because he wasn't feeding them properly. It was a whole thing. Her books are really, really funny, but it
Okay.
has like a cute little farm aspect to it. And honestly, out of all 3 books, the third one had like the biggest plot twists. And like
Okay.
it was the one that caught me off guard the most, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
I will
Um,
say I like books that are funny, but like in our fantasy books, I feel like everything's like so serious.
mhm.
And some authors like can't get that funny aspect in. But you know who I
Yeah.
thought did a really good job of like keeping it funny but serious? Danny.
Oh yeah.
So
Absolutely. I
and
agree.
I'm like, and we're gonna talk about her book in a second, but yeah, I think I really like when books have like that funny aspect. Like I
Yeah,
like to
no,
literally
there's definitely
that's that.
it's definitely a hard balance to get.
Yeah.
And I mean, the books were just funny. I laughed all day, like while I was reading
Yeah.
them, which is hard for me to do. So that one was 4 out of 5 stars. Loved it. And then I read The Do-Over, which is the fourth and final book of that series.
Okay.
And it follows the youngest brother, and he decides that he needs what's called a do-over. And when you grow up in the spotlight underneath like siblings and all of that, and
Is
under
this gonna be like
fame
the
and
thing where he
money.
like moves somewhere else and pretends he's not rich and famous and doesn't have any money, and then he lies to the girl that he's like poor and he like survives off of like peanut butter and jelly, and then all of a sudden like they're gonna go back home to go visit family, and then he's like, "Oh, sir, you've been up to first class," and then she's like, "No, we're not first class. Like we're regular poor civilians." Then all of a sudden he's like, "What's that movie? What's that movie? Rich Asians?" Like just like that movie.
Crazy Rich Asians. Don't slander Crazy Rich Asians because that's
I'm
in
not
the
slandering it, but like that's kind of typical. But like,
okay, but Crazy Rich Asians is not. It is, but it's done better.
okay,
You know what I mean? Like Crazy Rich Asians is that trope, but it's done better.
okay,
It's done the right way.
okay.
That's a great movie. So, but you pretty much got it. So
Oh,
he decides he needs a do-over. He goes on a 12-month like backpacking trip, starts in Spain, is staying in
okay.
a hostel, meets a bunch of friends, meets this girl, her name's Hayden. Um, Meets this little boy who is like homeless and lives on the streets and works behind the bar at like 14 years old. lies to the girl for the entire 12 months and literally until they're at the airport getting ready to go home. And the plan is they're going to go home, meet his family, then go to her house and meet her family, right? 1 minute before the limo pulls up, he's like, I'm not who you think I am. I actually am a billionaire. And she, rightfully so, is fucking angry.
I don't know how I would feel. Like, I'd be mad that you lied to me, but I don't think I'd be mad that you're a billionaire. Like,
Yeah, so like that was the thing. At first, I was like, if I was in this position, I wouldn't be mad that he had money. But then, like, as the story progressed on, because you like, he tells her at like 70% of the book, so we still have 30% of the book to go.
Got it. Okay.
So basically, he's unwilling to give up his life to make a compromise, and is like, my life will always be in the city, and she is a farm girl. Like, she is through and through a country girl. She births cows.
Oh.
Like,
okay.
Through and through a country girl, right?
Got it.
So he's refusing to compromise, and she moves to London, which is where he's headquartered, and ends up hating her life, like rightfully so, because there's no sunshine. It's always gloomy and rainy. The paparazzi is following her everywhere and making fun of her. And right. Okay, so they break up. She moves back to her farm. They cannot get a hold of this. His name's Eddie. This teenager that they befriended, right? They end up both going, not knowingly, going to where he works, where they first met, and reconnecting. And he finally gets some sense and compromises and buys her a farm. And then they adopt the boy. So, you were very much spot on with that. Yes, I definitely would say this one's like 3 out of 5. It was not my favorite just because, I don't know, I just like the other ones better. It's not my type of read, if that makes sense. It was still really good. It was still very funny. It still had some like good underlying like themes to it.
Right.
But not my favorite of the series. There's 4, and I do need to read. There comes like, it's called Miles Ever After, and it's the novella, so it's all the happy endings that they get. So I need to read that one next. But other than that, those were the books that I read. I've been on a romance kick. I think I'm gonna read. I was gonna read a cowboy romance, but I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have no idea. We'll see.
I know we were talking about that earlier, about like what you were gonna do.
Yeah.
Okay, well, my life has been crazy, so I only have 2 books.
Which is crazy because she reads so fucking fast that it's insane that I have 6 books and she only has 2, because it's been in my 2 weeks of just free reading.
Okay, pause, because in my defense, I just didn't have free time to read.
Yeah.
I've been working like crazy. My school was on spring break, so my friend Emily, who was in the last episode, was in town, and as much as we both love to read, there was just a lot of alcohol. So, you know,
period.
Not a lot of reading, and that's okay. But I'm like back on my kick right now. And so, but between master's classes and hosting and everything, like there just wasn't time. So,
yeah.
But I did accomplish the 2 reads that I did want to do, and I will finish the 3rd one tonight. And then I have a 4th book I'm literally going to start tomorrow. So, I read the final book in the Flame and Thorns series by Marion Blackwood. The 5th book is called War of Fire and Fury. I loved this book. So we've talked about this series before, so like I can't say too much about it because I want you to fully experience it, but you do know the gist of it. Obviously, we have dragons, we have powers, we have, female rage, female empowerment, we have, a male who will like literally get on his knees for you. We had one of the books where one main character forgot, like FMC forgot his memories in one book, and then MMC forgot his memories in one book. So it just was like oh my God, like, can they catch a break? And so finally this last book comes, and one of them had their memories wiped at the end of the last book. So then I'm like, okay, and I'm not telling you who because that will spoil it, but for the gist of like why I was very anxious to start this book because I was ready to continue with the story. So I was like not ready to have to like battle a memory battle all over again. But she turned it around, and within the first 2 chapters it was solved. And it wasn't pretty.
That's nice though.
Exactly. So I will say that I was very impressed with that because a lot of other authors would have dragged that on to the point where I got bored. And I was not bored this entire book. It was everything I wanted. The war happened, you know, and it had a very great ending, like a very great conclusion that was like happy moments that every little dot and T was talked about.
Yeah.
But there was this moment that was like when Feyre winnowed on top of the how do you say it? The Adder? How do you say it?
I say Ator.
Yeah, that's what I say. Okay. The Adder, when
I
she
don't know
like
how it's
winnowed
really
and like,
pronounced,
jumped on
but
top of him and was like right? Same thing,
yeah.
except for she jumps off a dragon. So she can't control where she's gonna land. So she jumps off a dragon and is literally like, and they're fighting in the air, except for, you know, she doesn't have winnowing abilities, so she doesn't winnow out at the last second. No, homegirl just like literally sacrificed herself. She lived. But I was sitting there and I was like, and yeah, so it was absolutely crazy.
Okay then.
There were lots of like plot twists. Homegirl like fully came into like in all the books she's like, if I have to be the villain to save the world, I will. But then she's like crying about crap because she's still battling with a lot. And this book definitely there's an addiction battle and mental health battle in this book. Really big. It was written very well. It really does a good job of showing how if you have the right support system, those things can be easier. And that you have to want to change in order to change.
Yeah, right.
So very well written. Absolutely loved it. I give this book 5 stars because I thought it was just such a perfect way of ending this series. And I've been obsessed with the series since I started it. So I was very content with that. Okay, so my next one is over here. I read One Dark Window. I'm like 3/4 of the way through second book right now.
I feel like it's very like a different genre for you.
It is. So
I feel like you read Alchemized and took like the gothic romance and like went with it.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie, like I surprised myself with this one because I was like, you know, I'm not really into gothic romance, you know, whatever.
Right.
Okay, it took a second. At first I was like reading it and I kind of was like, okay, like, you know, like I'm very intrigued, but I still don't know how I feel.
Right.
So like there's powers and think like tarot cards, right? Like think like a vow and vengeance, like how there's tarot cards that give you abilities. So there are provenance cards in this, and there's 12, and not 12 physically. It's that there's 12 types, and there's a bunch of them out there. So each one has like an ability, but if you caught this fever when you were a kid, you're considered like infected, and infected are supposed to be killed. There are infected that live and survive, but the reason why they're supposed to be killed are because they develop powers outside of the cards, and no one is supposed to have magic outside of what your cards.
Interesting. Okay.
Homegirl, her power, because she survived it, is that if she touches a card, she absorbs a card. And so, of course, when she was younger, she absorbs a very powerful card of a monster, and now the monster is inside of her.
Oh, word.
Without having to touch the card. And so now this monster for 11 years has lived in her head, speaks to her, and has saved her life multiple times. And they have like a very weird like love-hate relationship bond. And so like as you're like reading this, like you're starting to put pieces together, and like I was putting pieces together, and like I didn't even think the pieces I was putting together were gonna piece together. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just like I was like so invested and intrigued, but at the same time was like, I have no clue where this is going. And then let me introduce you to this MMC, okay? They're finally, accepting this little thing that they got going on. They're making out a little bit. And he's like, Esbeth, can I kiss you? And she's like, we've been making out. Like, what the hell you mean? It's a little late for that, buddy. And he goes, I didn't say on your lips. I went,
She FaceTimed me and read me the paragraph.
ah! and then it was funny because she was like, what is he? And then she was like whispers it. And then he devours. The only complaints I have is that we had this entire scene of being devoured just for it to then go, and then somehow we ended up on the floor, and pretty much it was like
fade to black.
It skipped the whole scene and just like went to the end of it, and it was like talking about it like, yeah, like we did multiple times.
Give me the details.
I was like, give me it now.
Give me the details. I'm shaking. Sometimes I need the details like I'm a little crackhead.
Yeah, but book 2 ended in like a crazy way that I kind of predicted was happening throughout the book. And it was definitely a plot twist. And so I'm in book 2 right now. I'm like I think I'm like 3/4 of the way through. And I just feel so bad because so pretty much like the monster ends up taking over. And homeboy over here finds out that the monster was in her this whole time. And he has that card and can use that card. And what that ability does is it lets you speak into other people's minds. So he went to speak in her mind, and then the monster was like, get the fuck out. Whoa. And he was like, what the? He's like, and so then he's like so mad at her. And then, the monster fully takes over, and he's like battling so many different things. He's like battling the fact that he feels guilty that if he didn't get there in enough time when she was being attacked, that the monster wouldn't have had enough power to take over, because the more she used it, because the thing is that if you're infected, the more that you use your power in your card, the more each person has their own way that they start to die, pretty much. And so like his is that he can't use cards anymore. So like he has only certain cards that he's barely used because those are the only ones he uses anymore. And then every time she uses his power, he gets closer to taking over. So then at the end, she's being attacked. He takes over, and now he's fully in control of her. So now homeboy's like battling his feelings because he's like, I don't know if anything that like happened with us that we said, that we did, that she said about me, like, was it real? Was it you? Da 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 da. And I'm not even going to tell you who the monster is, because that's a whole other crazy, like, who he is very important. You know what I mean? Like, he's not some like random, monster. So now he's like battling all of this, and I'm just like, no, like, you don't understand. Like, she really likes it. So like, I have a theory though that I'm going to call now, because I definitely will talk about this second book in next episode. I think that he is going to accomplish the goal that he wants, and I don't want to say it in case you decide to read the series. I think the monster is going to accomplish the goal that he wants, and then I think he is going to, in the process of accomplishing this goal, someone has to be sacrificed, and I think he's going to sacrifice himself to finally go and be at peace and save her, because as much as he hates her, he has this like weird like father bond to her at the same time, because he's old. He's like way old, and she's younger. So like, and he had kids. So
interesting.
Yeah. So I think I don't know necessarily if it's possible, but I think that's what's going to happen. I would say book 1 for me, I would say it was like, I'm going to go with like a 3.5, 4. It was like, this was definitely like my darker book. Obviously Alchemized was darker, but that book destroyed me. I feel like book 2 is going to book 2 will determine if this is a 4 or a 3.5, and that sounds crazy, but like,
it's valid though.
Yeah. So really liked it. It's still very new and interesting to me. So this book the first one went very slow for me, which it's not a big book, so that really took me by surprise. It's just a lot of information all at the same time too. Book 2, though, I think I've been reading a lot faster because I'm a little bit more invested.
Nice.
So, but let's get into some book news.
Book news.
So,
We are still patiently awaiting Miss Danny's release date for her rom-com. Even we don't know it. We know
no,
we know pretty much everything about it except when it's coming out. We knew everything beforehand when it came out. But
yeah.
we don't know the release date. She refused to tell us.
I'm trying to find, hold on. I had a book released this week that I'm literally going to start tomorrow. Okay. So, Bloodwing Academy, book 3, by Briar Bolin, came out literally this week. I want to say it was on
Tuesday, probably.
Tuesday. Yeah, it was Tuesday. So, and it's The Wings That Bind. So I am very excited. Literally, the only reason I haven't read it yet was because I told myself I was gonna finish this second book first, and then I'm gonna go into this third book. So I will be talking about that next week. I'm very excited for this series. Outside of that, bringing back to Miss Danny, I thought I was gonna pop my cherry with my people books with Danny. But we're not going to disclose any information right now. But we had an author message us and was like, you guys are so funny. Like, can I please send you my book? Like, I don't care if you don't even review it. Like, let's be friends. And we were like, hell yeah.
Heck yeah, you can.
So it is correct me if I'm wrong, Jordan, isn't it a murder mystery romance book?
Yeah, it's kind of like a mystery romance.
Okay, like mystery thriller romance.
Yeah, it's only so the thing about this book is it's only 200 pages, so it is a pretty quick and small read.
Yeah.
But we're still super excited for it. We're very grateful that she reached out to us.
Yeah.
Our books will be here this week, hopefully.
And we'll have lots of information coming out, like obviously about that. That will come out later. But the point of this is that, one, to tease you guys, and then two, obviously I'm gonna read my first People book.
Yes,
okay?
she is going to. I will say though, I still think that you can count Danny as your first one. Just because hers going to be a little bit bigger. So this one's a little bit quicker to get through, but it is a people book. Heavenly is going to read her first people book, and then Danny is going to pop her rom-com cherry. And
yeah,
that sounds bad, but it's a good thing. And I'm hoping we can get Miss Danny back on here for whenever her rom-com releases. So
don't you worry about it. I already talked to her. She said yes. So
period.
Okay, so
Miss catch Miss Danny being on the pod soon. Except she don't tell us. She didn't tell us when it was releasing.
Not yet.
No, we didn't get that info.
So Miss Callie.
Oh yeah, Miss Callie.
Tell me why on Tuesday, Callie Hart, my Kingfisher originator queen, released the book. And I got so excited. Had no idea she was even releasing the book.
We completely missed that one. We missed that one.
I'm so excited. So I'm like, oh my God, Jordan, you got to see what this book is about. So then I go to read it, bruh. Why do people book?
Why do people book? I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it and let you know.
Jordan's going to read it. And here's the thing. Depending on what it said, I was going to contemplate it. And then
let me read it first, and then I'll be like, okay, you'll like it.
And then I read the description, and I was like, oh, hell no.
No, I got to read it first and see.
But, side note, glad you're having fun, but, can you...
Where's Kingfisher?
Yeah.
Where is Kingfisher?
Yeah. Give me Kingfisher back. And
then, where's Carrion?
Yeah, literally, where's Carrion?
Where's Carrion and his plants, babe?
Yeah, like what? Okay. Okay. Now let's talk our big news. If you know us, my top read book of one of my top read books of last year, one of my top series of all time, up there with literally Fourth Wing and Sarah J. Maas, okay? We have Fear the Flames.
Oh, Miss Olivia Rose Darling.
Miss Olivia.
She dropped some book 3 updates.
Yes.
And we're here to talk all about it.
I don't know what's it called, but on Instagram when you have ask me anything.
It's like a pop-up question prompt thing. I don't know what the word is.
And it literally said, ask me about book 3. So naturally I put in 2, which we're gonna read, but then there were a couple others that I took screenshots of, okay? So I'm pretty sure when I looked it up, we knew that it was 4 books, but it was never confirmed that it was 4 books. So someone said, does this book complete? Oh wait, I said that. Does this book complete the series?
That was ours.
And she said it's a 4-book series, so there's one more after this.
And I believe book 3 is coming early 2027.
Yes, January 27. She confirmed it.
Yeah.
Then this is the big news.
Get ready.
Will there be any arcs? Yes. Not for a few more months, but there will be arcs. She also just turned in, I think, her official final draft. And then said,
I need it.
Hold on. Where's it at?
While you find that, Anna Huang released ARC signups for King of Gluttony, which is the 5th book in the Kings of Sin series. And today I looked at my social media and people got theirs and I did not get mine. And I'm so sad. I cried and made a TikTok video about it. And I hope she comments and sends it to me anyway.
Yeah, everyone go like and repost it so she sees it.
Please. Because she's literally my number 1. Ma'am?
Okay. So I guess I didn't take a screenshot of it, but my other one that I said to her was I had asked if there was going to be arcs, and then I asked if it's going to be an arc sign up link, or is it she's randomly picking, and then also she's going to be doing a street team. She said that there's going to be an arc link and that she wants to do a street team, but she just doesn't know enough about it yet. So Olivia, you have time now. Go learn about it so I can go and be on it because I am your biggest fan. We constantly talk about your book. We constantly hype it up.
If we are dead, it has no fans.
And at least once a week, I look at Tyler and I say, Kaden wouldn't do that to me.
Kaden would never do that to me. If you guys watched our very, very first podcast episode was about Fear the Flames, okay? It was about Fear the Flames. It was one of our top reads of the year for both of us. It's one of our top series. In our running jokes throughout our podcast, it has always been, Kaden would never do that to us. And still, to this day, it's Kaden would never do that to us. And
here's the thing, okay? Depending on which series I'm reading, and this is a controversial take, Rhysand and Xaden are always a number 1 for me. I cannot pick between the two. Now, when I'm reading Fourth Wing, obviously Xaden is number 1. When I'm reading ACOTAR, Rhysand is my number 1. But they're both my number 1. Okay? And then we have Kaden. He is my number 2 man. And I will stand on that ground. So I not only need this arc, I need the street team. If I don't get this arc, we're not even going to talk about what I'm we're not even going to talk about it. Anyway, so another question that was asked, and yes, I'm holding my phone upside down because I screenshotted it because it was posted upside down.
She's posted all the spoilers with upside down text. That way people who haven't read it and were following her didn't want to know
So it says, if Kaden comes back, will he still be the same man? Question mark. 1, there's no ifs, ands, or buts if he's coming back, baby. First of all,
he better be coming back.
Well, it doesn't. We've talked about this. It doesn't make sense to the storyline because it literally says that he has things to accomplish when he comes back. But we're not going to get into a rant about it. So she then said, I've always wanted my characters to feel very real, and I think that it's impossible to not be changed by the things that we go through. Nearing the end of the draft, I love him even more because of how much he endures for his wife, himself, and their kingdom and future. But I don't think it's possible for Kaden to entirely be the same after enduring his worst fear. Here's the thing. I don't take that very badly. I take that as that he literally we're not even going to get into the whole ending because long story short, his biggest fear was her dying, and then he had to literally take care of her and do this, and he went to the gosh dang underworld to save his wife.
Yeah,
No one would be okay.
we cannot sit here
No
and talk
one.
about this because we'll be here literally all night.
But no one would be okay after that.
No, absolutely
So
not.
I did not freak out when I read this. I felt like that confirmed to me that he finds her.
I think it's either we're not going to find her until midway or end of the book.
Yeah, I don't think we're finding her until the end of the book. But either way, as long as they find each other, that's all that matters. We've talked about this. Okay, so then
Fair
the
enough.
last question that I took a screenshot of was, will it be an underworld setting? I personally felt like this was a stupid question because I don't know what the story would be about if it wasn't him in the underworld. Like that is the biggest plot of this next book.
Yeah, literally.
And so she literally said for part of the book, yes, I loved writing it and building the world. It's very dark and eerie. I love that. I love that it's a little bit like of a darker sense to it. But again, I felt like that was very given. So I was kind of confused by that question. The only thing I could think, like, if anything, we might get, and I think she might have even confirmed that we're getting dual POVs. I think it was a question and she said yes. I could be wrong about that because I was driving, but I'm pretty sure she confirmed it. So the only other POVs between Caden and obviously Elowen would be all of our
the group.
Exactly. So that would be the only other POV I could think, but she's not going to write this whole book in their POV while they're in the underworld and then they just magically appear. Like the whole gist of this is him going to the underworld.
Yeah.
So I don't know. No hate though. No hate. But long story short, I need to be on that art team. I need to be on your street team. I just
Olivia, we love you. We need it like I need air.
Like you cried over you're not getting yours today. I'm gonna like I don't
Dude, if
know.
we do not fucking get it, I'm gonna be so upset.
So Olivia.
Hey, Olivia. Yo, biggest fans. Look, I got your stuff on my book right here. Right here.
I got mine there. Wait, there. Like, come here, girl.
Yeah.
I'll take care of Caden. Don't you worry. He'll be real good over here.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
Okay, so
Caden would never do that to me.
Yeah, Caden would never leave me hanging like this, just saying. Okay, so other quick related book things that I don't necessarily know if they're book news, but I just read these books, so I did not know this. Remember when I did the We Who Will Die book review, and that was like, remember the Damon Salvatore, Stefan kind of trope thing? Book 2 is titled We Who Will Rise, and apparently it's coming out January 19th.
Ooh,
so,
not far
which
away.
I didn't know that the other day, so that for me was pretty big news. I took screenshots of another one. Hold on. Okay, so actually this is a series that I'm going to start after I read Bloodwing. I'm gonna read The Wolf King. So book 1 is The Wolf King, book 2 is The Night Prince, and apparently book 3 is The Wolf Queen, and it will be coming out September 8th.
Ooh.
So that again is pretty big stuff.
My next book is coming out is Love Song by Elle Kennedy. I don't know where her books are. Oh, they're on the bottom. You can't see them because my chair's in the way, but they're spin-offs of previous series that she's done, and then after that is Starside. So
yeah,
and then after that is freaking King of Gluttony. I gotta wait till freaking April 28th.
I was gonna say I think my biggest one so far is going to be Starside.
Yeah. Same.
So I think
of the month, yeah.
Of the month for sure. Well, no, that's honestly my like of the year one. That's one of my biggest one of my most anticipated ones of this year.
Oh yeah, I'm really excited for that one.
So I'm
gonna have to go to the bookstore on my lunch break.
Yeah, I know.
Shaking my head.
I'm gonna like purposely be like, don't call me until 5. Actually, I might even take off. I'm not even gonna lie.
We're taking off. There's a girl. We just need unlimited vacation. That way we can take off for all book releases.
Or we just, can go viral and then all I can do is read books. Because, I'm just saying.
Make us viral. Make us viral so we can read.
You know what? At least one author thinks I'm funny. That's all that matters.
Hey, period. Go us.
Okay, guys.
Make us viral so we can read for a living.
I'm sure more book news is going to come out. Next week, we're going to be continuing to talk about some books that we've read, stuff like that. Obviously, we're preparing for Starside, so we have another, 2 weeks?
Comes out the 24th, so we have like a week and a half.
12 days. 12 days, yeah. Exactly. So 12 days reading before we read Starside, and then the rest of this month, and then towards the end of the month, we will drop the series that we're going to be starting. I'm very excited for this one, and I think you guys are going to be too.
I'm excited.
And then obviously, like I said, more information is going to be coming out about our book that we're getting. It will be our first book mail. Watch
our socials because we'll do an unboxing.
And by first book mail, obviously, A Vow and Vengeance was our first book mail, but I'm talking like
this is like first like physical book.
Yeah. So there's going to be big stuff coming out about that, and so just keep in touch with the socials and make us viral so I just can read.
Make us viral so we can quit our jobs. If you think we're funny.
Okay, guys.
See you next week.
That you literally